I just wanted to do a quick review on the crude, aka crude. Anyway, over here it broke out. As simple as that. Alright, broke out, had followed through, and is basically popped up. But at the same time, like it broke on the biggest volume in the last at least 25 up bars. You know that? 25 up bars. And over here there was some absorption against these highs. That's why they're overlapping. It's because they're trying to get out, break out, but they have to. The resistance is strong. 1, 2, 3, pivots over here. So it's hugging, and pop. So increased volume, increased spread, has followed through, ding ding. However, at the same time, like there could be a turning point coming over here. I'm not saying trade it. I'm not saying that. I'm just going to show observations. In fact, to be clear, I'm more looking for the pullback. The pullback, because I know the level. Anyway, over here. What was I saying? Over here, yeah. So over here, there's some pressure. So what happened? As you can see on the right hand side, right? Yeah, 11 bars, 8K, 10 bars, 4K, then 26 bars, 7 bars, 26,000, then 7 bars, 34,000. Alright, so it took 34,000 to push it up 7 bars. So what does that mean? If before it only took 26,000, it's taking 34,000. Yeah? So 34,000 yields about 7 bars. Alright, now, so there's obviously some effort here, right? You see that it's almost 50% more volume than the prior up wave, but not any additional distance. After that, look at this, the 51,000. You see that? The 51,000? This is interesting me. It's really interesting me right here. Because, why is it interesting me? Because there's a lot of pressure here. There's clear selling pressure, and they did make an advance in terms of distance. The problem is, though, that it hasn't confirmed with trend. It's only just got some selling pressure, and there could be profit taking and then reaccumulation. We don't know. All we know is that there is selling pressure here. But all that selling pressure did was test support. So if it's just testing support, it could just be profit taking, small amount, because obviously they're in profits, especially on the breakout on the daily. So this is very clear. 51,000, probably near the end of the day, right? And a lot of volume, big wave. So the supply pressure has increased. No question, no doubt. After that, you still had 48,000, which is more volume than the prior 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a lot of waves. And it couldn't make a new high. So here it struggled to move 7 bars because it took about 50% more volume, followed by selling pressure, followed by a hell of a lot of volume and even less distance, right? So what is this telling me? I'm not a rocket scientist, but clearly the amount of volume that came in should have broken out to new highs. It didn't. It tested resistance and it got stuffed. You know why? Look at this brick, 224, and that was the biggest brick. And they tried to absorb or do something over here, but they couldn't. It tagged it and is pushing back down. Now, again, here's the thing though. The trend has not changed and daily's up. Every time frame is up. So you can't take, if you're trend trading, you can't take the short. But for sure, there is supply that came in, and it's also expressed in the difficulty to make new highs. And the amount of volume it took for the price to move. Here 26,000 yielded 7 bricks. Here 34,000 yielded 7 bricks. 50% increase in volume, 0% increase in distance. Here, 6 bars, biggest price volume, 6 bricks, 51,000. The only problem is it didn't break support. All it did was go to support, from which heavy volume again came. Why? Because they're breakout buyers. What are they doing? They're looking to buy, not breakout buyers, what is it? Pullback buyers. They're looking to buy support. They didn't get it here. They didn't get it here. They finally got it here. And that's why the volume is so much, because they're pullback buyers who are concerned with their risk. So they're buying near the low. It tags them. They get filled. And these pullback buyers make something as the market moves to resistance. 48,000 is just, they were ready for, they're trying to get a pullback. They got the pullback. It went to resistance. Not sure if they got out or not. But it's only 13,000, 19,000. So it's getting stuffed at resistance here. So it might go into a spring and breakout. I don't know. Or it might pull back to test this area, this 239, which is doing right here, and then pop like in a spring position against this 239 and then go. Or it might break and test the support area again. We don't know what it's going to do. What you can't say for sure is that trend has not broken, even though there's heavy supply. And many times, even if you have this stupid-ass climax and then it's whatever, it's a COB, if all it's doing is testing support, be careful. Because a lot of folks get enamored by volume and they say, oh, there's a lot of volume on the pullback. Oh, this is a sign of weakness. But it didn't break the low. It didn't break the low. Most important thing is trend. If all that volume didn't break the low, what does that mean? They're unable to break the low. So that means that it means it's difficult to change trend. All right? Why? Because their buyer is still loading their orders here. So now they got filled. Like over here, they got tested here and they got filled and took them to resistance. Question is, are they still there at that support? Or are they at the prior support, And here, they're definitely not here, right? Because when tested this area, just made one little bump. So they're not, I don't think they're there. Maybe. We'll see if they're here, otherwise it's gonna test the lows. It's gonna test this wave low to see if they're still there. I think it looks like they were filled, because there's a lot of volume. So yeah, we want to see what happens when it comes back down to this area. And in any case, even if if that trend changes, you still have to be very careful. Why? Because of one key reason: they got too many bulls in the background. So every level here, you could have some bullish action. Anyway, so I want to also say something else. Let me just go through this. Alright, let's just examine the thrusts. From here to here, it went up. From high to high. And from here to here, it went down. And then here to here, went up again. So I don't believe this is shortening of the thrust. Because it's not shortening, it increased. Yeah, it went down here, shortened. But then it increased. So how can you say shortening of the thrust? What about from a volume perspective? From a volume perspective, clearly, look at this, 44, 262, 344, 477. It's increasing. At the same time, so is this. You see? 108, 296 to 507. This is going down also. I mean, increasing in down volume here. So this is why, buyers are still locked and loaded. So it has, you got to be really careful. And over here, the distance is shrinking. If we examine it from the perspective of distance, look, 1280, 1170, not distance, but I think I multiplied it by dollar or something. Anyway, 1280, 1170, 930, 880, 710. It's decreasing. It's decreasing. Why is that? Because it's harder to, what is it? It's more volume, less distance. It's becoming harder to go higher. That makes sense. Keep on going higher, keep on going higher. It'll be more difficult. Why? The supply is at higher levels. See, 1280, 11, blah, 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 blah. It's decreasing. Yeah, decreasing distance, increasing volume. For sure, there's effort. It's requiring more effort to move the market. And then finally over here, you have a nice big wave, $800, and they do their thing. So long story short, crude got to wait to see the breaks, and looking at some levels here. This would be this is the level I want to see. This is the obvious level also. Right in this area, see if it can go. Otherwise, because look at the volume here, 239, and it's like tested once, tested again. Don't see a lot of pressure, but don't see buyers step in yet. This accumulation level, and the resistance is right up there. Where's the damn thing? Right here. See that 224? Obviously, there's selling pressure. Look at what it did. Then buyers are right here, 239. So they're going to struggle a little bit. Sellers over here, buyers here, and probably here. So let them struggle, and we'll see what opportunities present. So where is the more appropriate trade? Now I'm going to go to a higher brick size. On the left-hand side, you see this 141? That's the breakout. That's the level that these guys broke. So testing of that, but they probably reaccumulated all that shit. So here is what I think that any change in the market that goes to this level, where they did all of this and then did a spring, see the spring right here, I think that this is something to look at when price goes there. It is what you can call it whatever you want, level of interest, zone, whatever, support, doesn't matter. It's just what is it going to do as it turns, if it turns, as it turns, and goes to that level. Anyway, this is a review on crude. So thank you. Have a good Sunday. Bye.